Let's make it do what it do, what it do. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. If you're coming on, joining me live, hit that like button, hit that share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody, and let them know your boy, Ramonepreston, my squad. We are all live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. This is the day that the Lord has made. We're already rejoicing. We're already glad in it. Today is Tuesday, August the 15th, 2023. It's 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time, and you, my friend, are watching the Ramonepreston Show. I'm going to take a few minutes really to follow up from what we talked about yesterday and tie it into a very special announcement that I've been making for the past 24 hours about an upcoming live one-day virtual business boot camp where I am going to take an entire day to deep dive and to get into the weeds of holding companies, asset management, creative tax strategies, and operational systems. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to figure out how do I get enough momentum to push towards 6 figures and beyond in my business revenue, then this conversation is going to be very important to you. So please do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody, and don't forget to put in the comments what city you're watching your boy from, who you represent. Would you, my friend, be so kind to put in the comments what city you're watching the Ramonepreston Show from? I'm always grateful, I'm always humbled, I'm always excited to host this show because it gives me an opportunity to share information with you, and it gives me an opportunity to connect with you so that we can together make an impact in the marketplace and in our communities and in the world. So please do me a favor. Put in the comments what city you're watching me from. If you're a student in any of our courses, if you are a mentee in our coaching program, or if you're just a member of our business or maybe ministry community, please let us know who you are and what role do you play. Are you a student? Are you a mentee? Or are you a part of our community and you watch the show, you engage in our content? We have thousands of videos, especially on our YouTube page. It's the most popular page that we have. It's the most popular channel. And we have thousands, literally about 3,500 videos on those platforms. So again, today I'm going to be talking about an announcement that I made yesterday. I made the announcement yesterday, and it really wasn't a public announcement. It was really an announcement that we made inside of our community. So if you're on my email list, if you're on my text message list, if we have your personal information, you probably got an email, a text message, or a call with us talking about this upcoming event that we're hosting on Saturday, September the 2nd. It's Labor Day weekend. So a lot of people are going to be off for 3-4 days. A lot of people are going to be just relaxing and resting. And you should already be fixing your mind to get educated on what you need to do to accelerate your business, to get some momentum in your business. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a small business owner, I mean, there's no greater feeling than the feeling that you get when you start making sales, when you start getting activity, when people start asking about your products and services, when you start performing at a high level in your business. And guess what? That's what I want to do. I want to show you creative ways to accelerate that process. When I started as an entrepreneur, excuse me, I didn't have a lot of resources. My wife and I, we scrapped it out every day. We took what we had and we made it work, and we rolled up our sleeves and we just did whatever we needed to do to just make it happen. Once we started gaining some momentum, we started implementing and executing strategies that we realized were not common. Every entrepreneur that we knew didn't understand them. Very few were using them. And we realized that if we took these concepts and we utilize them on a day-to-day basis, that we could see some acceleration. And we started using these concepts. These are the same concepts that I talk about a lot in different details, but these are the concepts that I'm really going to be taking a day in this boot camp to share with you. So what are those concepts? Well, one of those concepts is the holding company concept. It's a very common concept to me and to the people in my community. It's one of the most common concepts that I get questions on just about every day, whether it's from people sending me questions through email, through inboxes, through direct messages, through comments on our social media channels. I get a lot of people who reach out to us because they want to learn about the holding company. They want to learn how to file and form the paperwork, how to structure it, how to use it, how to maximize it. And one of the reasons why people are becoming more and more aware of concepts like the holding company, because they're starting to see that a lot of people they do business with have holding companies. A lot of the successful companies that you know that are household names are holding companies. And the way you maximize your business activities is through this type of concept where you have one company that's an umbrella company, a parent company, and then you have multiple companies under it that are operating, that are all moving up to the main company. So again, this is one of the main concepts. Another very important concept is asset management. These are concepts that are not common to most entrepreneurs. If you talk to any entrepreneur, like think about the people that you know are entrepreneurs, think about the people that you know right now are business owners, and ask them, just do a quick survey with about 10 to 20 people that you know who own a business, and just ask them a couple questions, all right? So I'm gonna give you these concepts that I'm talking about, and then I want you to ask a few entrepreneurs that you know to see if they understand any of these concepts. Okay? So I'm giving you 4 right now. So here's your homework for today. Your homework for today that you could take away from the show is, I want you to find about 10 to 20 business owners. Maybe you got 10 or 20 people in your phone that you know are business owners. You know they got a business, a side hustle or whatever. They sell products and services. I want you to text them, or I want you to email them, or I want you to call them, and I want you to just do a quick survey and ask those entrepreneurs. If you're watching me, I'm asking you, find out how many of them know about holding companies, asset management, creative tax strategies, and operational systems. Find out if they know anything about it. Find out if they're utilizing these concepts in their business. Here's what you're probably going to find out. You're probably going to find out 90% of those 10 to 20 businesses or business owners don't know anything about these, or if they heard about them, they don't understand them enough to give you an explanation of what they mean, and they're probably not even using them. You understand what I'm saying? So if you talk to 20 business owners today, if you just ask them one simple question, do you know anything about the holding company concept, asset management through a business, creative tax strategies, and operational systems? Do you know anything about that? Do you understand those concepts? And the second follow-up question should be, are you utilizing them, or how are you using them? What you're going to find out if you ask 10 to 20 entrepreneurs this who own businesses is that most of them don't know anything about it, and the few who may have heard something about it, if they're not lying, they're probably not using them. They probably don't know how to utilize them. And the way you know they're lying, if they can't explain to you what they are. If somebody tell you, oh, I know about the holding company. Okay, so how are you using it? Well, you don't know. I know about asset management. Okay, are you using it in your business? How are you using it? I know about creative tax strategies. Okay, how are you using them? I know about operational systems. Most entrepreneurs are not using them. Now, why is this important? Here's why this is important. Because whether you know about these concepts or not, if you're not utilizing them, meaning that every day you wake up as an entrepreneur, if you ain't doing something that's utilizing these types of concepts in your business, this is one of the reasons why you're not scaling. This is one of the reasons why you don't have consistent momentum. This is one of the reasons why you probably not making enough money, or if you're making money, you're not keeping enough. This is one of the reasons why you feel like you're stuck and all over the place. It's because you're not utilizing one, two, three, or all of these concepts. So again, today's show, I just wanted to take a few minutes to, number one, make a public service announcement that on Saturday, September the 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., right here in my studio, it's going to be a private virtual business boot camp I'm hosting. It's a one-day deep dive. I'm going to take about 6 hours and I'm going to go deep. I'm talking about deep into the weeds of all 4 of these concepts. I'm going to be talking about how do you file and form your paperwork? How do you draft your operating agreements? How do you take certain agreements like asset transfer agreements, licensing agreements, and how do you utilize them inside of your holding company? How do you wake up every day with 2 or 3 entities and make them work and make sense to you? I'm going to be talking about that in this boot camp. I'm also going to be talking about asset management. I'm going to share with you the 3 phases of asset management. 3 phases, how to accumulate assets. How do you identify with them? A lot of you have assets in your life and you don't even identify with them. And if you can't identify with them, how are you going to accumulate them and then integrate them into your holding company or into your business community? You're not going to know how to do it. And then I want to show you as an asset manager that when you accumulate assets and integrate them into your business, it changes the valuation of your enterprise. It changes the market value. It's probably going to change the revenue. It's going to change your net worth because you have figured out a strategic concept that a lot of the big companies are using. This is like something that's very sophisticated because a lot of these big companies, they get these crazy valuations and they're able to leverage those valuations by getting funding and by doing partnerships because they have assets. They have accumulated assets and they've integrated them into their multiple business structures so that they can have the value that they need to do the things that they want to do. So I'm going to be talking about asset management. I'm going to be talking about creative tax strategies. I'm not a tax strategist. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an accountant, but I'm an entrepreneur who understands enough about this to be able to wake up every day, track my income and expenses, look at what type of cash is collected every day, track that data, and to have the ability to forecast into the future so that I can always stay on top of what my potential liability is. So for me, when I talk to my tax strategists and my CPA and whoever else I talk to in the accounting world, I already have enough knowledge with what I'm doing every day with my financial accounting that I'm not like lost when they start telling me what I need to do or start giving me recommendations for things I need to do to lower my taxes and maximize my profits. But a lot of the things that you need to learn regarding your financial accounting as a business owner, these things you're probably not going to get the education on from a CPA. Unless the CPA is an educator, unless the CPA is like a coach or a mentor or has some type of programs like that, you're only going to get bits and pieces of information because they're doing a job. They're not running your business. They're going to do their job and provide that service for that area of your business, but you still need to have a great understanding on tax strategies, income and expense tracking, forecasting, the things that are going to make or break how your business moves forward financially. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about operational systems. Every business owner needs to have a general operating system. But again, most business owners, especially solopreneurs, don't even know nothing about a general operating system. There was a time I didn't know about it. I had to learn it. I had to figure it out. And I had to take the time to build a general operating system. And the truth is this, I'm still building it. I'm still working with systems and processes and data and KPIs and metrics to figure out what's working for my business, what ain't working for my business. But I'm telling you now, if you wake up every day as a business owner and you feel like you all over the place, if you feel like things ain't clicking, you wearing multiple hats, you feel like you spinning your wheels, some of this, not all of it, but some of this is coming from the fact that you don't have a general operating system. So what that means is you don't have your sales and your marketing and your finances and your administration and your executive activities all working together cohesively in a concentrated way that it makes it more efficient for you. Because what you're probably doing is just bouncing around. You got to market, you got to put content out, you trying to sell, you trying to provide customer service, you sending emails out, you trying to call, you trying to do the actual work, you trying to find vendors, you're doing all this stuff and it's not operating efficiently. It's because you haven't put a general operating system together. So just with me sharing with you what I'm sharing with you, can you see how important these things are in your business? Because when I talk to people and they say, hey, I just want a holding company. Okay, that's cool. We can help you start a holding company. We can do it for you, or we can give you the education. We can give you our do-it-yourself startup kit. We can give all that to you and let you do it, or we can do it for you. But here's what the problem is going to be. The problem going to be is this. If you set up your holding company and you got all these LLCs, you got all these EIN numbers, you got all these articles of organization, all these bank accounts, all these credit cards or whatever the things are that you get when you do the structure part, once you put all that together and then you wake up the next day and now, okay, you got a whole bunch of paperwork, you got a whole bunch of files, you got a whole bunch of EIN numbers, you got a whole bunch of forms, but you don't know what to do with it now. This is the problem with a lot of people who get the filing and the formation of holding companies and operating companies done, but they don't think about, how am I going to run this? Like, how does this actually work? What am I going to do with it? Like, I do this every day. So like you can only imagine how many people I have talked to, consulted, coached, sat down one-on-one, in person, on a Zoom with, and they have had stacks of paper. They got LLCs for days. I mean, I've known people to have 10 LLCs. They have their holding company, they got their operating company, they got this, they got that, they got this, and they don't know what to do with it. You know why? Because they missed all the other components that make that structure mean something, that make that structure work. So again, if you know you don't want to stay stuck as an entrepreneur, if you know you want to get to a place where you're generating enough revenue and you're making your business make sense, you're justifying being a business owner, you're going to have to invest some time to get educated and some time to build the muscle of using concepts like the holding company, asset management, creative tax strategies, operational systems. You gotta take some time. If you're not willing to invest a little bit of time, if you're not willing to invest a little bit of energy, effort, brain space, which may come with some frustration, some moments of disappointment, this is why you need to be in a community. This is why you need to be around people who can keep you encouraged. But if you're willing to invest a little bit of time, if you're willing to invest a little bit of brain space, then what I'm extending to you today in this special announcement is a one-day business boot camp. It's virtual. So you can be on your phone, you could be on a tablet, on your laptop, on your desktop, at home, in the car, and you can be a part of this one-day deep dive where I go through all 4 of these major business concepts. But in addition to the VIP ticket that I'm extending to you in today's special announcement, I'm also going to give you 1 year of unlimited access to 4 educational programs on all 4 of these. So I have an entire educational program on the holding company. I have a whole program teaching you how to start and structure holding companies, how to file and form your paperwork. I have a startup kit inside of this program with operating agreements, asset transfer agreements, licensing agreements, consulting agreements, all the paperwork you need. I have it as well. I've got videos. I probably have about 70 to 80 common questions inside of that program that I just answer all the common questions that most people don't even know they have when it comes to holding companies. Okay, so we're giving you 1 year unlimited access to the holding company course. I'm also going to give you 1 year unlimited access to our asset management course. So what this course is going to teach you is how to identify with assets, how to start thinking like an asset manager, how to assume the role of an asset manager who owns a holding company and who has operating companies under it. I show you in this course how to actually accumulate assets, how to integrate them into your business. I cover probably about 30 common but not so common assets that every business owner has. Every business owner has probably 20 of the common assets that I cover. They just don't see them. Like I said, I mentioned yesterday, if you came in my studio, in this studio, and you saw this pen and you picked it up, you wouldn't really know, unless you're familiar with digital whiteboards, you wouldn't really know what this device does. It wouldn't have any value to you. It wouldn't have any utility to you. But to this whiteboard, this is an asset because I can't use my finger and write on this board. So as nice as this board is, as expensive as this digital whiteboard is, I can't write on it with my finger. But if you don't know how valuable this is and how much of an asset this is to this board, you wouldn't use it. You would just overlook it. But I know without this pen, I can't write on this board. So my point is, when you learn how to become an asset manager, not just a business owner, not just a CEO, you position yourself to identify with things that you can start accumulating inside of your company or your family of companies, and you can integrate them in places where they start actively engaging in things that give your business as a whole more value. This is how you increase your net worth. This is how you increase your enterprise value, your market value. This is how you increase your revenue, because you identify with assets that you accumulate, integrate, and it changes how you evaluate your business. So I'm giving you 1 year unlimited access to this course. I have a creative tax strategy course where I really show you the basics of creative tax strategies. So we're talking about how to track your income and expenses. That's one level. Just basic business accounting. How do I stay on top of what I got coming in and what I got going out and what I have left, my cash that's collected, and you also want to know what your potential tax liability is. Like, you should stay on top of that at least every quarter. Every 90 days, you should be able to look into your QuickBooks account or your financial profit and loss statements to see how much money I made, how much money I spent, how much real cash was collected, what my potential tax liability is, and you should be able to at least forecast into the next 90 days to anticipate what you should be doing in order to minimize taxes, maximize profits. A lot of these financial strategies are tied into how you create ways to lower your taxes and maximize your profits. But again, you got to get familiar with that. And then I also, in this particular program, I give you a 10-step process for really minimizing your tax liability. And you can do this even as a solopreneur. A lot of people get intimidated when they hear this stuff and they like, man, I can't do all that. I ain't got the time. You gotta have the time if it's just you. Otherwise, you're just not gonna win as a business owner. If you wanna be a statistic where 9 out of 10 business owners fail, then you're not gonna do anything I'm telling you. But if you want to win and you want to push through and you want to see some success, you got to get committed to learning this stuff, at least the basics of it, so that you can start making enough money to hire people to help you with some of the stuff that you might be overwhelmed with. But there's going to be a window that you got to make that sacrifice. There's going to be a window that you do what you need to do. And the truth is this: if you have the right assets in your business, you could create a runway financially long enough to give you time to figure this stuff out so that you won't go under, okay? But I'm also going to give you a course on our corporate systems and processes. And this course really shows you how to build a general operating system. Like, how do you take all of your business activities for sales and marketing and administration and financial, and how do you consolidate them together so that it simplifies what you do as a business owner? It makes it more efficient for you to wake up every day and do business. Because, for example, when you are CEO of a business, when you don't have no other people working for you, even if you got virtual assistants working for you, there's the responsibility to lead all the areas of your business is still on you. And so there are some main areas of your business that you still have to lead. So there's like a marketing a department of your business. There's a sales department. There's the administration. There's a financial, and there's an executive for you as the CEO. Those areas of your business, even if you're the only person doing all those things, you still have to compartmentalize them and then consolidate them in a way that even if you're doing all of those things as one person, you still have an operational system put together that makes it more efficient for you. Like I always tell entrepreneurs, when you feel like you're all over the place, you spinning your wheels, you wearing multiple hats, and you don't feel like you're getting anywhere, it's because you don't have a proper operational system. You don't have an operational system. So again, if you are an entrepreneur, small business owner, and you want to make the most out of your opportunities in today's marketplace, this special announcement and offer that I'm extending to you is gonna be a game changer. So again, on Saturday, September the 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., I'm hosting a live virtual business boot camp. So it's gonna be a one-day deep dive that I'm going to take about 6 hours, and I'm going to go deep into the weeds, like the nuts and bolts of all 4 of these areas. We're going to talk about holding companies, how to file them, how to form them, how to draft your paperwork, what language you need to use when you get your EIN, when you get your articles of organization from the Secretary of State, how do you structure your divisions and your subsidiaries under it. We're going to be talking about asset management. How do you identify with things that could be assets to your business? Do you need paperwork between a holding company and a subsidiary to validate an asset that you have? How do you work those papers and those agreements? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about creative tax strategies, how to become more effective as an entrepreneur with your income and expenses, and with your forecasting, and how to really stay on top of minimizing your tax liability and maximizing your profitability so that you can start seeing some spread in your revenue. We're going to talk about operating systems. How do you put together a general operating system to make it more efficient for your sales, your marketing, your financials, your administration? Because remember, even when you make a decision to hire people into your company, you still have to have some type of system and process in place. Otherwise, you're going to hire people and they're going to be just as confused and all over the place as you. Okay? So I'm extending one VIP ticket for you to join me on September the 2nd for my one-day business boot camp. And with this offer, I am personally giving you 1 year of unlimited access to 4 educational programs: my holding company course and startup kit, my asset management course, my creative tax strategy course, and my operational system course. So I'm giving you 4 courses plus a VIP ticket to a live event, and I'm only offering it for $97. Like, you're going to spend $97 going out to eat today, right? You can go out for dinner and spend $97. Or you can prioritize your business, your success, and say, you know what? I don't have nothing to lose. I got everything to gain. The guy is offering me 1 live virtual boot camp so I can hear him talk about these areas for 6 hours. I can ask any question I want to ask. I could get the information, and he's offering me 4 courses that you have access to for 1 year. So if you want to know more about holding companies, if you need the paperwork for holding companies, if you want to know more about asset management, tax strategies, operational systems, I promise you, if you took those 4 training programs that I'm giving you and you started learning the information and educating yourself and just taking a few minutes a day watching those videos, going through those courses and modules, I promise you, by the time you join me on September the 2nd for the live event, you're going to be in the comments, in the chat, talking like you a master at holding companies and asset management and creative tax strategies and systems and processes. I already know you're going to be. And God knows if you give yourself a couple months to just work those concepts into your business, you're probably going to see an increase of income within the first 30 days. Most people who learn these principles and concepts and put them to work immediately, they start seeing a change like within a couple weeks, because it's a game changer. I know what it did for me. And remember, I didn't have somebody like me giving me courses. I had to gather information and search for it and figure things out through a lot of trial and error because I didn't have what we have today. Okay, it wasn't like a social media world when I first started, my wife and I, as a 2-person real estate team. So enough of me talking. I want to get you onboarded today. All you have to do is text the word bootcamp to 678-276-8253. So I'm not going to say if, when you text the word bootcamp to this number, we're going to reach back out to you. This is all in-house. So we're going to reach back out to you. And once you pay the $97, you get instant access to our entire business bootcamp bundle. All right. And inside that business bootcamp bundle, you're going to see 5 programs. You're going to see the program with the exclusive private link for our upcoming boot camp, and then you're going to see those other 4 training programs, and you'll have access to that for an entire year. All right, unlimited access. You can go on there as much as you can. You can download all the documents and forms. I'm like just going way over the top with this, but I truly believe that the more people who get on board with what I'm teaching about holding companies and asset management, creative tax strategy, systems and processes, the more people who come on board with this and start doing it, the more people we're going to have to support what we're saying, so that there will be more people interested in getting that information and putting it to practice. So I want to hear from you. All you have to do is text Bootcamp to 678-276-8253, and we'll get you onboarded today. You can start training now for $97. All right. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I have a couple appointments, so I need to make a run out of the office, another run out of the office. It's been a very busy 2 weeks so far in this month here, and we're expecting for it to be much more busier. That's a good problem to have. But I appreciate all of you for watching the show. I see in the chat inside of our streaming service, Detroit was in the house. If you're still in the house, shout out to you, Detroit. Appreciate all of you. I would love to get some feedback. If you heard something that I talked about, one of those concepts that resonated with you, that got your attention, you might have had an aha moment about one of the things we talked about: holding companies, asset management, tax strategies, systems and processes. Leave a comment. Leave your feedback. Leave your takeaway. Give someone else an opportunity to hear what you learned, what you heard that made you think different about business, about finance, about success. I would love to hear it in the comments. We always go back and we read the comments. We follow up. We answer questions. We make ourselves available. So again, you want to take me up, just text Bootcamp to 678-276-8253. $97. You get one VIP ticket to my upcoming live virtual boot camp, and you get four training courses on holding companies, asset management, creative tax strategies, operational systems. You get unlimited access to it for 1 year. Just text Bootcamp to the number you see. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining the show. We will be back tomorrow right here, same place, same time, 12 o'clock noon Eastern on